Hey Stoic friends, welcome back to the Stoic journey. Have you ever found yourself wondering what it would take to make them truly regret the moment they chose to walk away from you, as if the moment they turned their back, they were completely unaware of the emptiness they were about to bring into their own life? Blind to the fact that they were walking away from someone who brought meaning and light into their world, like they thought they could easily move on, not realizing that with each passing day, the absence of your presence would grow louder, echoing through the empty spaces of their life. What if, using a little wisdom from our wise Stoic friends, you could transform yourself into someone so resilient, so undeniably strong, that their regret becomes a constant reminder of what they've lost? As our wise Stoic gem Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The rejection you faced wasn't the end of your story. It was the friction needed to reveal your true strength. By embracing these Stoic principles, you'll turn that rejection into a source of empowerment, transforming it into the very thing that makes them regret walking away. Remember, their decision to walk away is just the beginning of your journey to becoming someone they'll wish they had held on to. Imagine them replaying those moments, wishing they had seen your true worth before it was too late. Picture the regret settling in as they realize the treasure they let slip through their fingers, a treasure that's now shining brighter without them. And if you think this kind of transformation only happens in movies, my friend, you need to stick with me, because this video is going to shatter those old perceptions. And yes, this is the video that's going to transform you into someone they can't stop thinking about, someone who doesn't dwell on the past, but instead becomes the one they deeply regret letting go. Today, we're not just talking about how to make them regret losing you. We're talking about reclaiming your power in a way that makes you unforgettable. Today, we're diving into 10 powerful Stoic rules that will help you rise above, become more confident, and leave a lasting impression that they can't shake off. So, my Stoic friends, before we dive into these 10 transformative rules, here's your task. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this video. Why is this important? Well, when you react, YouTube recognizes this content as valuable, sharing it with more people like you who are searching for guidance. And when you help others, the universe aligns itself to help you. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, help others, and the universe will start helping you. Ready, my friend? Let's, music, go. Have you ever considered that the very act of someone leaving you might be the greatest gift they've ever given you? I know it sounds counterintuitive, maybe even shocking, but think about it. When someone walks away, they often think they're moving on to something better, leaving you behind in the dust. What if I told you that in their departure, they've unknowingly handed you the keys to a transformation so powerful it will leave them wishing they had never let you go? You see, most people view rejection as a loss, as a failure that diminishes their worth. But what if that rejection was actually a redirection, a moment in time that forced you to confront the areas in your life that needed growth, to uncover strengths you never knew you had? Imagine this. While they're off chasing the next shiny object, you're quietly turning that pain into power, crafting a version of yourself that is so strong, so confident, that their decision to leave begins to look like the worst mistake they've ever made. Here's the thing that most people miss. When someone leaves, they're not just creating a void in your life, they're also creating an opportunity for you to fill that space with something far greater than what was there before. It's an opportunity to rebuild, to rise from the ashes of that relationship, with a newfound sense of purpose and direction. They may think they've moved on, but in reality, they've set the stage for your ultimate comeback. Now let's flip the script. What if, instead of seeing their departure as a setback, you start seeing it as the start of your most significant evolution? They may have walked away thinking they held all the cards, but little do they know, they've just dealt you the winning hand. Because as you rise, as you transform, as you start to radiate with a new kind of strength, they'll begin to feel the sting of their own choices. And that's when the regret sets in, the realization that the person they left behind is now the one they can't forget. What I'm about to share with you isn't just about moving on. It's about becoming the person they'll always regret losing. So, are you ready to take those keys they unwittingly handed you and unlock a transformation that will leave them speechless? Let's kick things off with a quick affirmation that will strengthen your resolve. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and affirm, "I am stronger than tomorrow." Done? Now go ahead and drop it in the comments. This will let me know that you're following along, that I'm not just talking to the wind, but to someone who's truly committed to becoming the person they'll always regret losing and making a transformation that leaves them speechless. Number 1, never chase back. So folks, the first rule on our journey to making them regret losing you is simple but incredibly powerful. Never chase back. Now, this might seem like basic advice, something you've heard a million times before, but let me tell you, its importance cannot be overstated. When someone you love walks away, the natural reaction might be to chase after them, to try to win them back by any means necessary. What we usually do in this situation is become their personal puppet, bending over backward, sacrificing our self-respect, and doing all the things we think will bring them back. But here's the harsh truth. Chasing them will only push them further away, and more importantly, diminish your value in their eyes. Imagine this. Your partner decides to leave, and you immediately start calling, texting, trying to see them. Essentially, you're begging for their attention. You might think this shows how much you care, but in reality, it only highlights your desperation. Desperation is not attractive. In fact, it's the quickest way to make them lose respect for you. The more you chase, the more you reinforce the idea that they were right to leave, that you need them more than they need you. Consider this. In a relationship, the balance of power often shifts when one person becomes too available, too eager. By chasing them, you're giving away all your power. You're telling them, "You're the prize, and I'm willing to do anything to have you back." But what if, instead, you took a step back? What if you chose to reclaim your power by not chasing, by focusing on your own worth and growth? This is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes into play. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Chasing after someone who has already decided to leave is trying to control the uncontrollable. Their decision is beyond your control. What you can control is how you respond to it. So how do you incorporate this into your life? First, you need to shift your mindset. Understand that your worth is not dependent on whether or not they come back. Your value doesn't decrease because someone fails to see it. By not chasing, you're not giving up on love. You're simply choosing to love yourself more. It's about taking a stand, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. Let's be real. It's going to be tough. There will be moments when all you want to do is pick up the phone and call them, to remind them of what they're missing. But every time you resist that urge, you're strengthening yourself. You're building the kind of quiet confidence that doesn't need validation from anyone else. And let's inject a bit of humor here. Think of yourself as a fine wine. You don't see fine wine chasing after people in the store, do you? No, it just sits there, getting better with time. And those who recognize its value come back for it. You are that fine wine, folks. Let them come to you when they realize what they've lost. Now let's address the what-ifs. What if it feels impossible not to chase? What if you feel like you're losing them for good? Here's the thing. If someone truly values you, they'll realize what they've lost. If they don't, then they were never worth your time in the first place. Chasing them might give you a temporary sense of control, but it won't change the outcome. In fact, it might solidify it. So instead of chasing, focus on what you can control, yourself. Invest in your growth, your passions, and your well-being. This is where the affirmation comes into play. Remember, you are stronger than tomorrow. Every time you feel that urge to chase, affirm to yourself, I am stronger than tomorrow. It's not just a phrase, it's a reminder that your strength lies in your ability to move forward, not backward. Let's wrap this up with a bit of Stoic wisdom from Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you're constantly thinking about how to win them back, you're only prolonging your own suffering. Instead, focus on improving the quality of your thoughts, on building a life that is fulfilling and rich, whether they're in it or not. By never chasing back, you're sending a clear message. You know your worth, and you're not afraid to live without them. And trust me, that's the kind of strength that will make them regret losing you. Always keep the affirmation close, as this will be your anchor, reminding you of your resilience and power every time you feel the pull to chase. Remember that your strength lies in your ability to stand firm, to let them see what they walked away from. This affirmation isn't just words. It's a declaration of your commitment to becoming stronger, wiser, and more self-assured with each passing day. So say it once again, I am stronger than tomorrow, and let that strength carry you forward, away from the past and into a future where you are the one they wish they had never let go. Now, before we move towards the next rule, if you have any questions about what we've covered so far, whether it's a thought, a different perspective, or even a personal experience you'd like to share, please go ahead and drop it in the comments. Take charge by helping others with your insights. And folks, if you have nothing else to add, go ahead and reinforce your commitment by dropping our affirmation in the comments. If you haven't already, simply write, I am stronger than tomorrow, and inspire others who are on this journey with you. And my friends, I know the first rule was a bit lengthy, but believe me, it was the most important one to address in detail. The next rules aren't as long, but they're still packed with crucial insights that you must need to hear. So please, don't let your efforts up to this point drift away by getting distracted. Today is the day we're going to make real change, and it all starts with staying focused and committed to the process. Number 2, redefine your priorities. So, folks, the second rule on our journey to making them regret losing you is all about redefining your priorities. This one might not sound as intense as never chase back, but let me tell you, it's just as crucial. In fact, it's the foundation that will support every other rule we'll discuss. Let's start with a simple truth. When someone walks out of your life, it can feel like the ground has shifted beneath you. Suddenly, the things that once mattered, your relationship, your shared future, your plans together, are no longer there. It's disorienting, painful, and it can leave you questioning what's truly important. But here's the thing. This is your opportunity to hit the reset button. This is your chance to take a good hard look at your life and decide what truly deserves your time, energy, and focus. When you redefine your priorities, you're not just moving on, you're consciously choosing to build a life that's aligned with your values, your passions, and your goals. Imagine this. Instead of spending your days wondering what they're doing, who they're with, or whether they miss you, you start focusing on what you want to achieve, who you want to become, and how you want to live your life. That's the power of redefining your priorities. Consider a relationship example. Let's say you were in a relationship where you constantly put their needs above your own. Maybe you compromised your own dreams, adjusted your schedule to fit theirs, or even changed parts of yourself to keep them happy. But now that they're gone, you have the freedom to prioritize yourself again. And that's not just empowering, it's absolutely necessary. By shifting your focus from them to yourself, you're telling the universe that you are worthy of the same care and attention you once gave so freely to someone else. And let me tell you folks, there's nothing more attractive than someone who knows their worth and isn't afraid to prioritize their own happiness. Now let's talk about how to implement this in your life. Start by taking an inventory of where your energy is going. Are you still spending time and mental space on things that no longer serve you? Are you holding on to habits, routines, or even people that don't align with the person you want to become? It's time to let go. And I know that's easier said than done, but every time you make a conscious choice to put yourself first, you're building a life that is richer, fuller, and more aligned with your true self. Here's a practical example. If you've been neglecting your health because you were too focused on maintaining a relationship, now is the time to make your physical well-being a top priority. Start that workout routine you've been putting off. Make healthier food choices and take care of your body as if it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Or maybe you've put your passions on the back burner because you were too busy trying to keep someone else happy. Now is the time to reignite those passions. Whether it's writing, painting, starting a business, or learning something new, dive into what makes you feel alive. Not only will this bring joy and fulfillment into your life, but it will also show others that you're living for yourself, not for anyone else's approval. But what if it feels difficult to shift your focus? What if the memories of them keep pulling you back? This is where our affirmation comes into play. Whenever you feel tempted to revert to old habits, remind yourself, I am stronger than tomorrow. This isn't just a phrase, it's a commitment to becoming better, to prioritizing your growth and well-being over the past. Say it with conviction and let it guide your actions. Redefining your priorities also means surrounding yourself with people who support your growth. It's time to evaluate your relationships and determine who is truly adding value to your life. If someone isn't supporting your journey, it might be time to create some distance. This doesn't mean cutting people off abruptly, but rather gently shifting your focus towards those who uplift and inspire you. And here's a bit of humor to keep things light. Think of yourself as the CEO of your life. Imagine running a company where every decision needs to benefit the business. Would you hire people who drain your resources and don't contribute to the company's growth? Of course not. So why would you allow anyone in your life who isn't contributing to your happiness and success? It's time to run your life like a Fortune 500 company, focused, strategic, and always moving forward. As we wrap up this rule, let's turn to the wisdom of Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, who said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. By redefining your priorities, you're taking control of your time, your energy, and your life. You're ensuring that every moment is spent on what truly matters, and that's how you make them regret losing you. Not by chasing them, but by building a life so incredible that they can't help but notice what they've missed out on. So folks, take this step seriously. Redefine your priorities, focus on what truly matters, and watch as your life transforms into something extraordinary. And don't forget to keep our affirmation close as you navigate this journey. Remember, you are stronger than tomorrow, and with each passing day, you're becoming the person they'll always regret losing. And folks, get ready for our next rule, because while the rules we've discussed so far are incredibly powerful, they still lack the complete power to shift the dynamic on their own. But when mixed with the next rule we're about to dive into, they become unstoppable. Together, they're going to transform the way you approach your life and relationships. So let's move forward. Number 3. Master the art of non-reactivity. So folks, let's dive into our third rule. Master the art of non-reactivity. Now, this might sound like a tall order, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful tools you can wield when it comes to making them regret losing you. Here's the deal. When someone walks away, they often expect a reaction. Maybe they expect you to get upset, to plead with them, or even to lash out. And why wouldn't they? Emotional reactions are natural, right? But here's the kicker. When you react emotionally, you're giving them exactly what they expect. And worse, you're giving them power over you. You're showing them that their actions can still control your emotions, your peace of mind, and your life. But what if you didn't react? What if, instead of letting their actions dictate your emotions, you chose to remain calm, collected, and completely unbothered? Imagine how disorienting that would be for them. They walk away expecting fireworks, and instead, they're met with nothing but silence and your unwavering composure. Suddenly, the script is flipped. They're left wondering why you're not reacting, why you're not fighting to get them back. And that, my friends, is where the regret begins to set in. Consider this. In a relationship, emotions often run high, and it's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment. But by mastering the art of non-reactivity, you're choosing to rise above the chaos. You're telling them, I'm in control of my emotions, not you. And that kind of self-mastery is incredibly attractive because it shows that you're not dependent on them for your happiness or stability. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you stay calm when all you want to do is scream or cry? It starts with mindfulness. When you feel those emotions bubbling up, take a deep breath and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Remind yourself that your peace of mind is worth more than any fleeting reaction. Repeat our affirmation, I am stronger than tomorrow. Let it ground you. Let it remind you that your strength lies in your ability to remain composed, no matter what. Let's keep it light with a bit of humor. Think of yourself as a duck. On the surface, you're gliding smoothly across the water, calm and collected. But underneath, you might be paddling like crazy. Only no one needs to see that part. Keep that calm exterior and let them wonder what's going on beneath the surface. And if you need a bit of Stoic wisdom to back this up, look no further than Marcus Aurelius, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By mastering non-reactivity, you're taking back control of your mind, your emotions, and ultimately, your life. So folks, as you move forward, practice this art daily. The next time they try to provoke you, or even if they're just waiting for a reaction, Choose calm over chaos. Choose strength over weakness. Choose to be the one who controls the narrative, and watch as they begin to regret ever thinking they could rattle you. Number 4, create a life of fulfillment without them. So folks, the 4th rule on our journey is a game changer. Create a life of fulfillment without them. Now this isn't just about moving on, it's about building a life that is so rich, so satisfying, that their absence feels like a mere footnote in the story of your life. Let's get one thing straight. When someone leaves, it's easy to feel like a part of your life is missing, like there's a void that only they can fill. But here's the truth. They were never the source of your fulfillment. You were, and you still are. The key is to recognize that your happiness, your joy, and your sense of purpose come from within, not from someone else's presence in your life. Imagine this. They walk away thinking that their departure will leave you shattered, only to find out that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're living a life full of passion, purpose, and excitement. You're pursuing your goals, spending time with people who uplift you, and doing things that make your heart sing. Instead of wallowing in what was, you're embracing what is and looking forward to what will be. Consider a relationship example. Let's say you were in a relationship where your happiness often depended on them, whether it was their approval, their affection, or just their presence. But now that they're gone, you have the opportunity to redefine what happiness means to you. Maybe it's about finally pursuing that career you've always wanted, traveling to places you've only dreamed of, or simply finding joy in the everyday moments of life. When you fill your life with things that bring you genuine fulfillment, you become a magnet for positivity and success. And trust me, that kind of energy is impossible to ignore. Now let's be real. Creating a life of fulfillment without them isn't always easy. There will be moments when you miss them, when you wish they were there to share in your joy. But every time you feel that way, remind yourself of this. You are stronger than tomorrow. You have the power to create a life that is full and complete, with or without them. Number 5. Elevate your standards. Folks, let's get into our 6th rule, elevate your standards. This is where you stop settling for less than you deserve and start demanding the best for yourself, from others, and in every aspect of your life. Here's the truth. When someone leaves, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you weren't good enough, that maybe if you had lowered your expectations, things would have worked out. But the opposite is true. It's time to raise the bar. By elevating your standards, you're sending a powerful message to yourself and to others that you know your worth, and you won't accept anything less. Imagine this. Instead of chasing after someone who doesn't see your value, you start attracting people who do. You no longer entertain half-hearted efforts, mixed signals, or anything that doesn't align with the life you're building. You're no longer available for those who don't meet your standards, and that's when real change happens. Those who once took you for granted will see the new boundaries you've set, and they'll realize what they lost. Raising your standards also means investing in yourself, whether it's through personal growth, your career, or your relationships. It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to be better, and who see your value without you having to prove it. As the great philosopher Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." By elevating your standards, you're examining your life, your relationships, and making sure they align with your true worth. So folks, don't be afraid to raise that bar, elevate your standards, and watch as the world rises to meet them. You are stronger than tomorrow, and you deserve nothing but the best. Number 6. showcase your achievements. So folks, let's dive into our seventh rule, showcase your achievements. Now, this isn't about bragging or trying to prove something to others. This is about recognizing and celebrating your own growth, progress, and success. When someone walks away from you, they often think they're leaving behind something ordinary. But what if, instead of hiding your accomplishments, you start to highlight them? What if you let the world, and yes, even them, see just how much you're thriving without them? Imagine this. You were once in a relationship where you poured your heart and soul into making it work. But now, instead of dwelling on what you've lost, you've channeled that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Maybe you've taken up a new hobby, reconnected with friends, or simply rediscovered your own happiness. Instead of keeping these achievements to yourself, share them. Post about the amazing trip you just took, the new confidence you found, or the joy you're experiencing in your life. Let your life speak for itself. When they see you thriving, they'll realize that you're moving forward, growing stronger, and living fully, even in their absence. This isn't about making them jealous. It's about embracing your own journey and being proud of the progress you've made. It's about showing yourself and the world that you are unstoppable, that you are not defined by who's in your life, but by what you do with your life. And folks, as you showcase your achievements, remember our affirmation, I am stronger than tomorrow. With each achievement, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of anything, and that's the kind of confidence that makes them regret ever walking away. Number 7. Use social media wisely. So folks, let's talk about our 8th rule. Use social media wisely. In today's world, social media can be a powerful tool, but only if you use it with intention. When it comes to making them regret losing you, how you present yourself online can make a huge difference. First and foremost, resist the urge to post anything out of spite or desperation. No cryptic messages, no posts aimed at making them jealous, and definitely no public displays of heartbreak. Instead, use social media as a platform to highlight your growth and happiness. Share moments that genuinely reflect the positive changes in your life, whether it's a new hobby, a fun outing with friends, or simply a snapshot of you enjoying life. Imagine this. They're scrolling through their feed, and they see you not as the person who was left behind, but as someone who's flourishing. You're smiling, you're surrounded by loved ones, and you're clearly in a good place. This is the image you want to project. It sends a powerful message that you're not dwelling on the past, you're embracing the future with open arms. But here's the key. Don't overdo it. There's no need to flood your feed with constant updates. Less is more. A few well-timed posts can speak louder than a barrage of content. Remember, social media is just a tool. Your real life is what matters most. And as you navigate the world of social media, keep our affirmation in mind. I am stronger than tomorrow. Let your online presence reflect the strength and resilience you're building every day. Number 8. Embrace the power of silence. So folks, the 9th rule in our journey to making them regret losing you is one that might seem counterintuitive in our world of constant communication. Embrace the power of silence. This isn't just about keeping quiet. It's about using silence as a strategic tool to shift the dynamic and reclaim your power. When a relationship ends, the impulse to reach out, explain, or even argue is strong. You might feel the urge to send one last message to get the final word or to seek closure. But what if, instead of giving in to those impulses, you chose to say nothing at all? What if, instead of filling the void with words, you let your silence do the talking? Silence, when used effectively, can be incredibly powerful. It forces the other person to reflect, to wonder, and to feel the absence of your voice in their life. Imagine this. They're used to hearing from you, to knowing what you're thinking, to feeling connected through conversation. But suddenly, that connection is severed, not with anger or drama, but with calm, quiet detachment. This absence of communication can create a void that speaks louder than any words you could have said. Consider a relationship example. After a breakup, your partner might expect you to reach out, to try to make amends, or to express how much you miss them. But instead, you choose silence. Days go by, and they hear nothing. Weeks pass, and still, you remain silent. That silence becomes a mirror, reflecting back to them the reality of their decision. It forces them to confront the space you once filled in their life, and often, that space feels much larger than they anticipated. Now, this doesn't mean you should use silence as a weapon or a way to manipulate. Instead, think of it as a way to protect your energy, focus on your healing, and allow them to truly experience the consequences of their actions. By embracing the power of silence, you're showing that you don't need to chase them, explain yourself, or seek validation. Your silence becomes a testament to your strength and self-respect. And if it ever feels difficult to stay silent, remember our affirmation, "I am stronger than tomorrow." This silence is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of your resilience. So folks, embrace the power of silence and let it create the space for them to realize what they've lost. Number 9, never neglect your physical health. So folks, our final rule in this journey is one that's often overlooked but incredibly important. Never neglect your physical health. When someone leaves you, it's easy to get caught up in the emotional whirlwind, focusing so much on the mental and emotional aspects of healing that you forget to take care of your body. But let me tell you, your physical health is just as crucial in this process, if not more so. When you prioritize your physical well-being, you're not just improving your appearance. You're enhancing your mental clarity, boosting your confidence, and reinforcing your resilience. Think about it. How much better do you feel after a good workout or a healthy meal? Your body and mind are connected, and taking care of one inevitably benefits the other. Imagine this. After your relationship ended, instead of letting yourself fall into unhealthy habits, you decided to commit to your fitness. You start working out regularly, eating healthier, and maybe even taking up activities that you enjoy, like yoga, hiking, or dancing. As you build physical strength and endurance, you'll notice a shift in how you feel emotionally. The endorphins released during exercise help combat feelings of sadness or anxiety, making you feel more positive and in control. And here's the thing. When they see you taking care of yourself, it sends a powerful message. It shows that you're not letting the breakup break you. Instead, you're using this time to become even better, to glow up in every sense of the word. And let's be honest, there's nothing more attractive than someone who takes pride in their well-being and exudes confidence because of it. But it's not just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. By never neglecting your physical health, you're telling yourself that you matter, that your well-being is a priority. This is where our affirmation comes into play. Every time you take a step toward better health, remind yourself, "I am stronger than tomorrow." It's a powerful statement that reinforces your commitment to yourself, reminding you that you're worth the effort. So folks, as you move forward on this journey, remember that your physical health is a key component of your overall strength. Prioritize it, nurture it, and let it be one of the many ways you show them that you're not just surviving after they walked away. You're thriving,